And a good Tuesday to you. Arizona, with a backup quarterback who most thought was out of the NFL, beat Dallas last night 27-17. Jacoby Brissett now in his 7th NFL team, threw for over 220 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Cardinals to their 3rd win of the season. Arizona, by the way, will be Seattle's opponent this Sunday at Lumen Field after the Seahawks dispatch Washington Sunday night. Coach Mike Macdonald was asked if he's surprised at the play of Sam Darnold so far this season.
Yeah, I don't think we had expectations. We have a vision for what we felt like he could do, and it's a pretty big vision. How he's playing right now, and he's doing a great job. But the things that we thought he could do, he's definitely doing that, and probably then some. I mean, we brought him in to be our quarterback, be a leader, win games, be efficient. I mean, all those things he's doing.
Meanwhile, Jaxon Smith-Njigba has become a Swiss Army knife for Seattle's offense, leading the league in receptions. Macdonald says he provides a challenge in many ways for defenses.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's different mechanisms based off of the defensive systems you're in that teams can get to take receivers away based on the situation. First, give credit to our offensive coaches for moving him around and making him a moving target. But if you're going to spend a lot of resources on making sure he doesn't catch the ball, then our guys are showing that they can take advantage of those opportunities and those one-on-ones, and Sam can deliver the ball to him. So it's great. It's great. It's something that we're going to still have to take advantage. I know if we were game planning against us, that would be one of our top priorities is taking care of Jaxon. I'm sure the teams are thinking the same thing. So that's something we need to be taking into account moving forward.
Defensively, rookie Nick Emanwari continues to impress. Macdonald says, well, he's not very surprised about that.
Yeah, well, the play on the perimeter was a play we expect him to make. I mean, one of the reasons we have him in that position is so he can be a factor on the perimeter screen game and the perimeter run game. And he continues to make those plays. And when you can eliminate those plays, offensively, it narrows their menu, and that's really helpful. But that was a tremendous play, and that's something that we're going to want to encourage him to still do. Like his body position when he strikes, his hand placement, all those things. We expect him to keep improving, and I know he'll put the work in and do it, and we have a plan for that. In terms of him and Spoon, I'd say the number one thing is just the energy those guys bring to the table, competitiveness. Where they're playing, it really right now depends on our secondary depth and how many corners we have up. But I think the cool thing is there is some flexibility, and Nick's shown the capacity to handle multiple positions, which is exciting, and it's showing us that we can keep giving him new responsibilities.
Seattle has reportedly added to its wide receiver core prior to today's trade deadline. According to Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport, Rashid Shaheed is coming to Seattle from the New Orleans Saints in exchange for a 4th and 6th round draft picks next year. Shaheed has 44 receptions for 499 yards and a couple of touchdowns with the 1-8 Saints this season. Well, the Seattle Kraken earned a victory on home ice in regulation last night. After 2 losses in a row in overtime, Seattle topped Chicago 3-1 in NHL play at Climate Pledge Arena.
Chicago gains the red line, now carries it into the zone. Vlasic takes it in behind the net. In front, one-timer, Joey save, rebound in front to court, scramble for it, still keeps it out of the net. Loose again and rolls through the...
A 1-1 weekend of Western Hockey League play. Wenatchee beat Saskatoon Saturday 3-2 in overtime before falling 6-2 to Kamloops on Sunday. Austin Draude stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning and told Dan Coots the defense deserved a bunch of credit for Saturday's win.
I thought our defense did a great job on Saturday night all the way through. Certainly that first 45 minutes. They gave up just the 1 goal at the start of the game, about 5 minutes or so left in the first period. But no, it was a great effort. Tobias did an outstanding job in net, as he always does. We were a little choppy, I think, getting over the blue line. Had some great rushes over the red line. Couldn't get it over the blue line for the first period. And one thing that I think both teams really picked up on, I think both teams really read the passing patterns really well. You saw a couple teams that wanted to throw it across the ice, go backdoor, go weak side, and you get sticks in the passing lane. You get guys who kind of figure out where those passes are going. You jump in front, middle of the ice, you cut it off and you send it the other way. So I think the defenses did a good job of reading the game on Saturday night, and I think that was a big reason why we went to the first 5 minutes of the third period, still 1-0.
Wenatchee has back-to-back home games for the first time this season coming up this Friday and Saturday. Draude says the Wild will certainly have their hands full.
We got some good competition coming in. Portland has been one of the top teams in the really good U.S. division all the way through, and Prince George has kept pace pretty well in the BC division. So we've got a couple tough tasks coming at us. Some great goaltending on both sides, veteran goaltending on both sides. So going to have to take advantage of the opportunities this group gets the next couple nights and in front of a couple big crowds.
Wild will host Portland on Friday at 7 o'clock and Prince George Saturday at 6 p.m. Well, the playoffs continue in prep girls soccer with other teams trying to play into the postseason. Cascade hosting Zilla in a loser-out game. That is underway also in the District 5-6-1A tournament. The other game at 6 o'clock features Wahluke and Royal. District 5-4A play-in games tonight at 6 o'clock as well, with Moses Lake hosting West Valley, while Sunnyside visits Eisenhower. Prep volleyball schedule also features playoffs and play-in matches. Waterville is the site for the semifinals of the District 5 1B tournament. Entiat faces Soap Lake in the first match right now, with Pateris and Waterville Mansfield to follow at 7 o'clock. Play-in time for Moses Lake and Eastmont in the District 5 4A tournament as the Mavericks host Eisenhower at 6 o'clock, while the Wildcats play on the road at West Valley. Well, the first round of the round of 32 prep football playoff schedule is set for local teams. Wenatchee will travel to Pasco Friday to face very tough Chiawana at 6 o'clock at Edgar Brown Stadium. On Saturday, Moses Lake hosts Issaquah at 1 o'clock. Eastmont visits Sumner at 7. 2A crossover games will be played Saturday with Ephrata at Steilacoom at 2. Othello hosts Renton. East Valley hosts Rogers of Spokane. Sila's on the road at Seaholm. Royal plays host to Kingsway Christian Friday night at 6 o'clock in the 1A tournament. Omak visits Colville at 7. Cashmere will host Kalama at 2 o'clock. That'll be Saturday afternoon. Central Washington 2B teams will play crossover games on Friday and Saturday. Tonasket visits Cle Elum Friday at 6. Okanagan hosts Warden at 7, while Brewster hosts Columbia Burbank. White Swan travels to Liberty Bell Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.